Hey y'all, how are all my beautiful friends doing? Welcome back to Crime Time with Mal. I have missed y'all so dang much. I don't even know if y'all have noticed that I have been gone for the amount of time I have been. First of all, Happy New Year. Happy 2023 and Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I hope y'all had an amazing holiday season. I cannot believe it's January 2023. So my mom came in town for the holidays. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you probably don't know, but I really just soaked in that time with her and the kids and my husband. And then one thing led into another and I took more time off than I anticipated. But 2022, and I know I'm not alone when I say this, but it was pretty rough on me, like mental health wise, it was rough and I struggled. This year though, it's gonna be a new year and I feel great things coming. So if you are new to my channel, hi, thank you for clicking on my video. I'm so sorry that this is your first video that you are watching, but over here I tend to ramble, I can't talk, English is hard for me, and I cover missing and unsolved cases. If that is your type of channel, I would love for you to subscribe and join this truly amazing community I have over here. I have some of the best people over here, and I'm not just saying that, I truly do. And normally my hair isn't this wild, but I tried a new hair tool and Instagram said they liked it. We're testing it out here. But I've been meaning to do a live stream for a while now, and I have tried to do a live stream. My mom and I tried to do a live stream for members only, and y'all, I don't know if StreamYard is not liking me, if it's YouTube, I don't know what it is, but it's not working for me. Anytime I go on, it says I'm on, it says I'm live, but if I go to like my husband's channel and look at my channel, it's not on there, literally nowhere to be found on my channel. Even if I go to the live tab, it's not on there. So I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do a live, so just bear with me on that side. Also, I know I'm super late to this Idaho 4. I have fallen behind with my break and everything, but I've still been following it. I just haven't been posting about it. But today, again, I know I'm late, but today we're gonna be reading the affidavit together. I'm not going to be reading it word for word. I'm sure you'll have heard about it a million times. I'm not really gonna talk about Bryan because I don't think he deserves any more attention than he's already getting. But I will give y'all some of my thoughts about Bryan, about what possibly not happened, but what possibly I think was his motive. I don't know. And then also my thoughts about Dylan seeing Bryan. That will all be at the end. And yeah, but thank you so much for being here, and let's just go ahead and get started. And again, I know the majority of y'all know what this affidavit says, but I have gotten requests to read the affidavit and give my thoughts and opinions from my family, my friends, and people over here. So that's just what we're gonna do. But first, they have not figured out, or at least they haven't said. Now there is a ton more information that we have no clue about, but to what we're aware of, they have not released a possible motive, and technically they don't need a motive for a conviction. But let's go ahead and start off with how they actually connected Bryan to these 4 beautiful children. And I say children, they're in college, they're technically adults, but dang, they are still children. They're so dang young. Now we're gonna back it up to August 21st at 11:37 p.m. Bryan actually ended up getting pulled over by Latah County Sheriff's Department. And the deputy at the time received his phone number during the stop, and on body camera, his white Hyundai Elantra was pictured. Okay, I had to get that hair out of my face. It was driving me crazy. But that is how officers linked the phone number in the car together, because they both registered to Bryan. Now, on November 13th, the night of the murders, Bryan's phone pinged at his apartment at 2:47 a.m. and then again going south towards Pullman. Then moments later, Bryan's phone stops pinging as if somebody either put it on airplane mode, turned his phone off, or his phone just had no service. But his phone is through AT&T, and I have AT&T, and y'all, I live in the dang boondocks. And when I tell you I get service everywhere, I'm not joking. I get service pretty much dang near everywhere. And if y'all have AT&T, I'm sure you could vouch for that. They is expensive, but their coverage is good. Then his phone turns back on at 4:48 a.m. traveling south on Highway 95 just south of Moscow. Now, come on. He is, I mean no disrespect by this, he has studied criminology. He's going for his PhD, and he took his phone, turned it off right before or right after he turned it back on, and his car, used his own car to go. I'm so confused right now. Either he did not care to get caught, or he thought he was smart enough to get away with it like Ted Bundy. I don't know. Bryan then ends back up in Pullman between 4:50 and 5:26. Now, I assume he entered into Pullman at 4:50, but then he arrived at his apartment, shown on security footage, at 5:27 in the morning. Now, his apartment is only 10 miles away from where the took place, so I'm wondering what he did in between that time. I assume he got rid of the murder weapon and tried to clean up his tracks. But then at 9 a.m. this same morning, Bryan goes back to King Road. Now, I assume one of two things. Either Bryan, which is not uncommon if we all follow true crime, we all know it's not uncommon for the killer to go back to the scene, but I'm wondering if he went back to either see if there was cops and ambulances and all that, because by this time people possibly would have been waking up and known what was going on and would have called 911 by this time. Or he realized he didn't have his sheath, and he was like, and I don't know if he went back there. I don't know. I'm more leaning to the fact that he was looking to see if cops and ambulances were there. But I'm wondering if he realized, like, I left my sheath at the house somewhere. Bryan then returned home at 9:32 in the morning, again caught on surveillance. Then at 12:46 in the morning, Bryan is spotted going to the grocery store until 1:04 p.m. And then he's in Johnson, Idaho from 5:32 to 5:36. And then his phone goes off, and it does not turn back on, I believe, until the next day on November 14th. So what the heck was he doing that whole time? Now, again, this weapon is somewhere, obviously, but I don't think that they're gonna find it. He probably buried that, threw it in a river or a lake or something. He got rid of that. He has studied killers, has studied serial killers. He's in criminology. He knows somewhat of what he's doing. Obviously not to the extent of not getting caught, but we're probably not gonna find that murder weapon. I hope we do, but in my opinion, I don't think we will. Not we, they. I'm not looking for it. Law enforcement said that they felt like in that time that Bryan's phone went off on the way to Pullman and Moscow and all that, that he was trying to conceal his location, and I 100% agree. Why else are you gonna turn your phone off and then all of a sudden you're in Pullman, and then all of a sudden you're not far from Moscow where these brutal killings took place? Also, Bryan, the end of August, was stalking that house, and I believe Kaylee or Maddie, one of them. I think it might be Kaylee, in my opinion. More on my opinions at the end if y'all care. And to my knowledge, he moved to this area in August. So shortly after he moves to Pullman, he starts stalking 12 times. Stalking that we know of, but he could have followed them anywhere. And some of them, he was at their house for like an hour. I don't know if y'all watched this, but in the News Nation special that I watched last night, Olivia, which is Kaylee's sister, came on, and she said that she remembers like her conversations with Kaylee on August 21st, and lo and behold, it is so creepy and disturbing to know that somebody was literally stalking them and they had no clue about it. And not only stalking them, but plotting some evil, sick, twisted crap in the meantime.
When my sister was FaceTiming me about a new egg bites recipe, he was planning his next visit to the home. You know, the August 21st date, I can go back and remember the conversation that I had with Kaylee that day, and how normal everything was, and the fact that we had no idea, she had no idea, I had no idea that true evil was genuinely watching them.
He also applied for an internship at the Pullman Police Department, and in his application, he said he had an interest in assisting royal law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data. Now, this was this fall, so that means right before or right after he did this. That is very creepy. Now, people that knew Bryan in the classroom, because again, y'all know he was the teacher's assistant at the university, said that he was a very interactive teacher's assistant. He was comfortable around people. He was quick to offer people his thoughts. He was open to having discussions, and he was very smart. But again, not smart enough. But some of these classmates did say that after these killings took place, he wasn't as open and he seemed more on edge, more tired. He would come to class with coffee and just seemed very tired. He wasn't, some people said that he was more talkative and more willing to like talk again in discussions. But anytime the Idaho case came up, he didn't really have much to say. And in fact, he really didn't say anything at all. Now, this Reddit post that we were all talking about before this affidavit came out, y'all, that was him. Sure enough, that was him. And that is so creepy. The questions alone on that is so creepy. That just goes to show that he was, y'all, he's sick. Allegedly, if he's the one that did this, then yes, he is sick. And I don't mean in like, he needs help mentally to put him away. I mean, he needs to be locked up for the rest of his life. And Idaho is for the death penalty, and I am too. I mean, the questions alone wouldn't be weird because he is in that field, but the fact to know that he did this horrific crime of 4 college kids and was asking those type of questions on a questionnaire, that gives me the chills. Again, how would he not know that he was gonna leave some sort of DNA behind? He had to have known that. Now, I do quickly wanna say that while my heart, my thoughts, my prayers, everything in me goes out to Kaylee, Madison, Ethan, and Zana's family and friends, because I could not imagine, along with Bethany and Dylan, because again, I could not imagine, and this is gonna stay with them for the rest of their life. I will talk more about Dylan and stuff at the end, but my heart also goes out to Bryan's family. They're going through it too. Now, granted, they get to still see their son. They'll get to still visit him in jail, and Kaylee and Maddie and Zana and Ethan's family will never get to do that. So I don't want y'all to take it as like I'm having pity on Bryan. I do feel bad for Bryan's family because they didn't ask for this, you know? And Kaylee's dad said it best. He would give anything in the world to be able to go visit his daughters, and he refers to Maddie as his daughter, go visit them in jail. And it's so true.
It'll look a lot like an end. I mean, justice doesn't have a room where you can read books and you can go to school and you can have 3 meals and you can have your vegan diet. To me, that's not justice. Justice is when you leave the planet and the whole world is able to rejoice and be glad that you are not there. That's justice, and we will forgive him. We will. We're not going to have that heavy weight on us. We will forgive this individual, and we will. But he has to pay for what he's done, and it's not just our daughter; it's all the victims he needs to pay justice to. And that's all I can say about it.
I wouldn't want to give him too much, but I mean, I would tell him that he destroyed our lives in an aspect. Does he realize what he has taken from us, from these 4 families? I mean, Ethan was a triplet. Maddie was an only child. Xana had siblings. Kaylee was one of 5. She was the middle child. She had 2 older siblings, 2 younger siblings. Just the immense loss. I mean, did he really think? I mean, he did really think about it, which makes it really hard. But why?
And I would add to that that if you were looking for cruel girls that were bullies to you through your life when you were struggling, you picked the wrong girls. My girls have been through a lot, and they weren't the ones to pick on somebody that because they were overweight or they were struggling, and people were they were actually the ones that stick up for you. So yeah, you picked the wrong person if you were looking for vengeance on some people that were mean to you in your life, and you picked the wrong community. And we're gonna have to hold you accountable for that mistake.
Now, in high school, there was somebody that came out that said that they were friends with Bryan in high school, and he was an overweight kid. He got bullied, and eventually he actually ended up being addicted to H, and he got clean and sober and ended up going to college, getting his degree in criminology, and seemed to turn his life around. And everyone that I can find, again, they would never expect Bryan to have done something like this. So that just goes to show y'all, you never know who you're around. Somebody, they're gonna show you what they wanna show you. No one thought Ted Bundy did it. Nobody thought he could have done it. And he actually claimed his innocence up until after he was sentenced. And then when he was in prison, he actually admitted that he was guilty. So take that for what it's worth. And honestly, the only reason why he probably admitted it is because he wanted to be in the spotlight. He wanted to do the interviews. He wanted people to talk about him some more. People like that kind of stuff, and it's freaking sick. Now, I wondered why some professionals kept saying that this Rambo style knife was a military knife, because I'm like, well, how would they know that? I mean, just from the wounds? I mean, the police officers knew that just from the wounds, that it was a military style knife. Well, no, it's because that sheath was found on Maddie's bed next to Maddie. Oh my gosh, my heart. And it was a tan leather sheath that had the world with the eagle and the anchor and USMC imprinted on it. On that sheath, there's a button, and there was DNA collected from that button. Now, fast forward to the end of December, they ended up going to Bryan's parents' house, went through Bryan's parents' trash, and collected DNA from Bryan's dad. And that DNA was a match, that it was like 99.99999% a match, that it was in the family. And y'all, this picture of Bryan's dad absolutely breaks my heart. I go into tears when I see this picture, and it's of him cleaning up after the police made their mess coming to get Bryan. But I really do feel bad for his family, because I feel like they just had no idea, or they didn't think he would do something like this. Oh, I also forgot to mention, in this affidavit, which I don't hear a lot of people talk about this, but before the murders, there was security footage caught Bryan passing by the house quite a few times and then parking not far away from the house, and that is when he walked up to do his crime. So they actually have him on footage passing by that night in that area, on top, this is from what I have gathered, on top of the CCTV footage from that gas station of him zooming by really fast after the murder. So before and after. Y'all comment down below if that's what you gathered too. And y'all, I'm just gonna say it, I had a feeling. I don't know what it was, but I had a feeling, and I told Dusty, my husband, I told family members, I told my friends, I told some people on YouTube, I feel like they have a suspect. This was before Bryan was ever announced that he was arrested or anything, and I just felt like they had a suspect. I especially felt like they were looking into somebody when they posted the white Elantra, and I felt like they wanted more information, but I honestly felt like they knew who the car belonged to. They just wanted more information on it. And that's just my opinion, but lo and behold, they knew about Bryan not even 2 weeks into this happening. And to all those people on social media and the media itself that reported that it's taking too long and this case is gonna go cold and not having faith in law enforcement, meanwhile, the whole time they had their eyes set on someone. So that just goes to show you, just because law enforcement isn't speaking doesn't mean there's not progress being made behind the scenes. And I've said this time after time, and I know a lot of y'all agree with me, but some of y'all don't, that I would rather them keep that information close to the vest and not give us that information if that means that they're gonna get a conviction in the end. And all these leaks that are coming out, I really hope it's not true. And I'm talking about the new audio that got leaked from allegedly the night that everything happened. And that has been confirmed that that is not true. The person in that footage, like the audio footage, actually came forward and said that was a domestic dispute between them and their significant other. It had nothing to do with Idaho. And I really hope, I know it's gonna happen, it's just bound to happen, but it really is unfortunate because it really could hurt the investigation in the end if it goes to trial. So by 4 a.m., all the roommates are in the house, including Ethan, right? They are all also awake. Zaina receives a DoorDash order at 4 a.m. at her doorstep. So her and Ethan, or just Zaina, is eating their DoorDash order. It was shown that Zaina was also on TikTok shortly after her ordering DoorDash, so they were awake. And then Dylan says that she is woken up by what sounds like Kaylee and Murphy playing upstairs in her room. A short time later, she says that she hears somebody say, "Someone's here." Dylan looks out the window but sees nothing. A little while later, she says she hears something, what sounds like to be crying, coming from Zaina's room. She opens the door and she hears what sounds like a male voice say, "It's okay, I'm going to help you." Was that Ethan? And then at 4:17 in the morning, a neighbor's camera, which is pointed directly at Zaina's room, captures some whispers, some voices, and a dog barking. Dylan says she then hears crying again. She opens the door and sees a figure in black with a mask, about 5'10", thin built, not very muscular, and all she can see is bushy eyebrows. She said he walked past her. She stood there frozen, not knowing what to do as he exited through the sliding glass window and left. She turned around, locked her door, and just stood there. Now, this is what I'm going to talk about towards the end, so I'll give you all my thoughts. Just hang tight with me. Now, to think that Zaina and Ethan could have just been hanging out, scrolling on TikTok, eating their food when Bryan came in, and if Dylan heard that, I'm sure that's what was happening. Oh my gosh, this is just so dang sad, and this isn't even a third of it. Like I said, I believe I said this, there is a gag order in place. Now, between the DNA and the phone pings, right there, I'm sure there's tons more, y'all. And the footprint. I forgot about the dang footprint. Hello, did I not write this down? Oh, I did. Law enforcement did find a shoe print in the crime scene on the second day of their investigation, and they said it was like a diamond pattern like shoe imprint similar to those of Vans. Now, I have to say this comment from the Latah County Sheriff's Department. He said that they are trying to accommodate Bryan's vegan lifestyle, but they will not be changing any pots or pans. Welcome to jail, and soon hopefully justice will be served if he is guilty, which so far, I mean, it ain't looking too good, and I hope justice is served and then he'll be moved to prison, and they definitely won't be accommodating crap. Now, on January 6th, law enforcement was at the house off of King Road, and they were loading up the mattresses and furniture in the back of pickup trucks. And the house will remain a crime scene until February 1st. Now, I personally think that Bryan ran into the girls while they were out and about somewhere. Maybe they exchanged numbers, and I don't think Kaylee was interested in Bryan, and maybe Bryan was trying to pursue Kaylee, and Kaylee was kind of shutting it down, and Bryan probably got upset. And we know all it takes is a little bit to say no to the wrong person that is a little pissed off, and that's all it takes. And I'm very curious because Steve, Kaylee's dad, said that they did find a connection once they found out Bryan's name and was looking into everything. They did find a connection, but they're not ready to say what that connection is. I don't know. Is there a motive? Was this just sick and twisted and he just wanted to do it and was wanting to commit these, or was it deeper? And then was Ethan and Zaina just collateral damage because they were there? As for Dylan, I have seen so many people say, why didn't she call 911? Why didn't she do this? Why didn't she do that? Dylan's 19. She was probably drinking that night too, let's be honest. That's a party house. People come and go all the time. And yes, she was scared enough to go in and freeze and lock her door, but we don't know what she did afterwards. We don't know if she was so scared and just passed out or what she did. So I don't want to pass any judgment on that, because honestly, I don't know what I would do if I was 19 in that situation either. I don't know if I would go out there and look and see what happened. And do I think Dylan was a part of it or anything? No, I don't. I think that Dylan is young. I think she was in shock, and when she saw what was going on, plus the screams and everything, I think she honestly was scared out of her mind and did not know what to do. But again, my thoughts and my prayers go out to all the families involved in this horrific crime, and I hope justice is served swift, very swift. I don't think Bryan will plead guilty. I do think this will probably go to trial. I just honestly don't think he's gonna say he did it. I think he's going to say he's innocent. Just with the fact that his lawyer came out and said that Bryan was shocked that he was arrested for this crime. I don't know. I think he's gonna say he's innocent. But again, I'm sorry it took so long to get this video out. I will be quicker next time, I promise. And I will have a new video out on Wednesday, so y'all stay tuned for that, as well as Friday. I'm gonna try and start doing 3 videos a week since I can't go live. We're gonna try to do 3 videos a week, okay? So definitely 2, but I'm pushing for 3, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That's my goal. That's what I'm sticking to for this new year, and I hope you'll come along for the ride. Thank you so very much for all your support and all your kind words. Y'all truly have no idea how much it means to me, and I know I say it in every single video, and I will always say it in every single video, and I hope it doesn't sound redundant, but I feel weird not saying it because your time is valuable, and I appreciate truly you watching my videos. And if you I told you English is hard. And if you are not subscribed, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever I upload a video. And if you are not done watching my channel, I would love for you to stay till the end. You will see a playlist and a suggested video that you would more than likely enjoy. My next video will be about Madalina Kojikari, and I have got a ton of videos planned for y'all coming up. So again, make sure you're subscribed and that bell is turned on so you don't miss out. And I love y'all. I hope y'all have an amazing 2023. I hope all your wishes, all your goals, all your dreams are accomplished and come true. And I will see you in my next video. Stay safe and stay aware of your surroundings. Bye y'all.